Okay, this is ITS 128, and it is November 5th. Tomorrow's voting day, so I hope I don't see any of you tomorrow. Excuse me. And I'm going to share my screen right now. I'm going to share this screen. Optimize for full video. And here we go. Let's see, I can... let me put up my... put this up. Okay. Sorry, I just ate lunch again, so I'll be clearing my throat for the next 15 minutes, but I don't think I'm going to be... I don't think this is going to be that long, because I basically just want to... we are in... excuse me. Monday, November 5th. So it's the first day of Chapter 7. If you go look at the last Thursday's video, that's a pretty good video. That would be right here. Let me make sure it's there. It'd be this one, Arrays and Lists. And, okay, this is ITS 120. Dream Reader Object. Okay, so there I'm explaining. And this assigns the actual... Okay, so there, that's fine. And, and so let's go to the assignments, and must be this assignment that we're on. And for this, I talk about the assignment in the video in the last, in the November 1st video, which of course is this day, so it's the first day of the lecture. It's the same thing. Now, let's see if there's any modifications I want to make to this. So we start with the 5.5 tutorial again, just like the last two assignments. And this summarizes what we did in the last two assignments, in assignments 8 and 9. It's just that. And so we start with that. And for assignment 10, I want you to store the names in an array upon initialization. And then I want you to modify your code that so once the array is initialized, all the references that were made to the file are now made to the array. So you read the file into an array, and then you do all your stuff to the array as though it's the file, but you're just doing it to the array. So it's going to be a lot faster. And and then when the user clicks the exit button, there's also a button. So you add a button where this will actually do the saving. So you're making a bunch of updates and stuff, and you're just making updates to the array, but you're seeing your updates on your list box and everything. And then you decide, okay, those changes are good, and then you can press a button, a save button, and that will save the array out into the file again. And then you also want to make it so it keeps track whether or not the file has been saved since the last time you made an update. So once you load the file into your array, it'll be fine. But then once you start making changes to the array, then a little label should flash on that says you've made changes to your array. Make sure you save your array before you're done. And then the exit, when the user clicks the exit button, if the user has made some changes to the array since the last time this save button was pressed, then an alert should come up and say, do you want to save your file? And if you do, say yes or no. And so you're gonna have to figure out how to make a message box that displays up okay or cancel. You can just search the web to see that, or I'll probably show it to you next time. Excuse me. And so add a function to your program where the user can enter in the name and enter a name. This is the last thing. add a function to your program where the user can enter a name and then click a button, and the program will say if the person is in the list or not. So I'm going to have to show you how to do that. But basically, it's a sequential search. So you type in a name and the user clicks a button, and then your program will go through the array one by one to see if that name is in the array. If it's in the array, it'll say, yes, it's already in here. If not, it'll say it's not. If it is in there, it'll return the index number of where you were. Okay, so okay, now for the rest of the assignments, let's see how this works. When you hand this in, I want you to do the same things that you've done before, the first three things, your form1.cs file, your form1.designer.cs file, so I can see where all your form controls are and named and so on. And then I'd also like you to turn in a 1-minute video. It doesn't have to be MP4, it can be an MOV file or whatever that will just show me your program is working. And it's more important that it's a minute than you show me than you show me a bunch of stuff. Okay, I just kind of want to see it working, and I want to see how this works. I want to see if there's a way and how you students, you folks feel about doing this kind of thing. And by keeping it to a minute, that means it's it doesn't have to be fancy. Oh, and by the way, you can edit it if you want to. So, but I just want to watch a minute, and I just want to watch enough of it just to sort of see that you know how to operate your program and so on. It's just another thing to sort of let me see that you own it. But really, if I have any questions on whether anything works or not the way it's supposed to, or whether you have everything in there, I'll just be able to look in the form1.cs file and the form1.designer.cs file. So I ask you here to show me that you load up some names from a text file, that you add a name, that you test to see if that name's in the list. If you test to see that a name it's not in the list, show me the messages that come up, and then just exit the program and have it say that you're updating have it ask you whether you want to update the file and say yes. So that's it. And somebody here just asked, I'd like you to have a thing in there where when you're checking, let's see, when you're deleting a name here, when you're deleting a name, you're going to click a button. You're going to click a delete button, and I want you to handle the case where the person doesn't select a name. The person just clicks the delete button. Okay, I don't want there to be an exception and have your program die. Okay, so that's one of the things I'm going to test. Or no, that's not one. That's one of the things I'm going to look for in the code to see if you actually handle that case. All right, and maybe in the future I'll ask you to include that in the 1-minute video, but not this time. So does that explain the assignment well enough? All right. Well, so I'm not going to add anything more to the lectures to today's lecture. This is really becoming a class where you're wise to watch all the lectures, and so when I have a duplicate lecture like this, I'm just going to provide some update clarification information like I've done today, and then I'll have the class today can continue working on what they're working on, and I will tomorrow is election day, so I'm not going to have a lecture tomorrow. So it'll be this class that I have a lecture in next time, and so this class So I will actually give the next part, this next, after this class, then this class now becomes the first class of the 2 days. You see, notice it's Wednesday, November 7th is the first one, and Thursday, November 8th is the second one. So it switches where this class is the first one. The other thing is that I forgot that really next Monday there's no class, right? There's no class next Monday. But I'm just going to leave it in the schedule like this, okay? And that's because there's not a whole lot to Chapter 7. I will cover, in this class on Wednesday, I will cover basically what the other class is going to get on Thursday and possibly Tuesday, okay? So in this Wednesday class, I'll basically cover these 2 lectures of Chapter 7. And it'll be the other class that we'll have to watch at this class on next Wednesday. And then there'll be one more Chapter 7 lecture. And then after that, I think it's important, actually here, I might start talking about classes. It's important that you understand classes separately. I mean, it's important that you get a lecture on classes, because we use classes, and we use classes all the time. I mean, that's all we do. But if you're going to start making some bigger programs, you're going to want to start using more than one file. Right now, all of our code goes into the form1.cs file, and that's not how we usually do it. We usually have several files, and we divide our files up into classes, and classes that do certain things. So we'll get a taste of that later on this month, and then at the end of the month, I'd like to dabble a little bit in some databases, so you can kind of see how databases connects in. And it's so easy with Visual Studio too. It's just right there. So it's not like we're going to get into any heavy database management systems or discuss normalizing databases or anything like that. You can take one of the database classes, and then in 148, really at the end of 148 is when we really get into databases, and then 228 has got a lot of database stuff. So I guess that's all I have for today. So I think I will end the meeting, and if there's no more questions here, I will, so everybody should tune in to this lecture on Wednesday, because the other class will be seeing that information for the first time also. So I'll see you Wednesday. Get out and try to vote tomorrow. You know that even though if you haven't registered to vote, if you're an American, then in Hawaii, starting this election, 2018 election, you can register on election day. So you can do that. Thanks for watching.